Hi Aquarius, welcome to Sophquest. This is the new channel. If you were a Sophquest Synergy subscriber, I hope that you will move over here to Sophquest and subscribe to this channel because I'll be bringing you your weekly readings from each and every sign. You can listen to your sun, moon, and rising. And so those weeklies will be up on this new channel on Sophquest. Okay, so please do subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you'll receive a notification when I put up your new video. All right, your card's already fallen out. Come together. That's gorgeous. This is from the Enchanted Map Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid, and I'm going to read from the book since we are in Gemini season. Gemini is about the spoken word and the written word, and I thought we would give Colette Baron-Reid a shout out because her writing is so good. And I use the Enchanted Map Oracle because I think of maps when I think of Sagittarius. And we are entering into a week that has a very big full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, and that will be on Wednesday the 26th. And you know, very, very much about enlightenment. Now, a full moon is powerful enough, but a full moon eclipse, it lasts about 6 months, right? Whatever the lesson is of that, whatever it's moving and grooving on the planet for all of us, plays itself out over about a period of 6 months, sometimes longer, okay? Now, I can tell you that Jupiter and Neptune are in Pisces, which challenges us to remain positive and to dream and to focus on hope and love and peace and all of the good things about Pisces that sign teaches us. All right, we also have Mercury conjunct Venus in Gemini, and you know, I think that really does help with relationships, with communication and understanding each other. So that's something that's really good. Now, later in the week on the 29th, we are going to have Mercury stationing, which means it looks like it stops in the sky and it feels like a stillness before it retrogrades. So a Mercury retrograde is when we are reviewing and redoing, renegotiating, right? All those words. Because we need to go back over something that helps us to really integrate the lessons we're learning. We're all growing, right? So that's a good thing. All right, now I'm going to pull your 9-card spread from the Tarot of Mystical Moments, a very surreal deck that I love very much, and it is by Katrine Weltstein. And I'm going to pull your 9 spread. Okay, cutting the deck, and we're going for the week of May 24th through the 30th. All right, I'm going to show you these individually, one by one, as I read for you after I take a look at the big picture, all right? So if you would just take 3 cleansing breaths for me. Bring down your cortisol. Raise up your serotonin and dopamine levels in the brain. Get a little more clear-minded, a little more relaxed. Okay, we have the 5 of Cups, the Empress, that's good. 3 of Pentacles, excellent. Lovers, Tower, and the King of Swords. Okay, very good. Some big enlightenment this week for you, Aquarius. King of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords. Okay, there's definitely a conflict to solve, but I think that you will be able to solve it with a little cooperation that I'm seeing. Wheel of Fortune is on the bottom of the deck, so this is going to be a change week for you. It's when, you know, the Wheel of Fortune represents the time clock, and when it shifts, something definitely changes in divine timing. It's meant to be. It's not something you're doing, it's something the universe is doing in your life. Okay, so divine timing is at play this week for you, Aquarius. Now I'm going to read from the Enchanted Map, Come Together. Okay. Love needs to be shared. Love needs to be expressed. Drawing the Come Together card is a sign that you're on the path to discover the nature of this emotion in all its forms of expression. Romantic, familial, unconditional, spiritual. In each instance, there is another being involved. Love involves a give and take between you and a significant other, a relative, a friend, an animal, and or spirit. This card assures you that love has come calling and seeks a partner in its dance. Know that you are cherished. Like a magnet, you're attracting love into your life. This is the time for harmonious, caring partnerships. Come together. And now, looking at your spread, I can see why. I can see why, Aquarius. This is just really inspiring you to get some type of resolution in relationships, and perhaps all of your relationships. Maybe if you've been working really hard, working really smart, trying to just, get through life and solve problems, perhaps your relationships haven't been as tended to. So that is really the advice of this oracle. It's time to tend to some relationships. Well, now that makes some sense right now, doesn't it? With the full moon eclipse, right? Okay. On the top of your spread here, you have the Five of Cups. You have the Empress and the Three of Pentacles. So this is saying whatever you have been feeling that's made you feel alone, lonely, sad, even regretful or anything like that, anything of the sort. Something that's been a sticking point that you haven't been able to really let go of emotionally. Okay, well, it's growing you. It's growing you emotionally. It's blossoming in you so that you're leveling up to more than just romantic love or familial love, into more spiritual love. Agape, right? Three of Pentacles is so that you can come into communion with others and work together to build the life that you want. In the Three of Pentacles, it's usually 2 or 3 people building something that's going to last, that stands the test of time. So this is about you building and nurturing your relationships. Okay, Aquarius? That's the top line. Next 3 cards we have the Lovers, the Tower, and the King of Swords. Now in this particular deck, each of the suits, Earth, Air, Fire, and Water, they all have 2 kings. One female-looking king, one male-looking king. Now, it doesn't matter what gender you are. It just means the yang or the yin property of the highest achievement in that suit. So, this is the female King of Swords. So, I find that interesting. So, this could very well be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. It could be you if you're female. If you're male, it's about your yin energy. It's a more creative King of Swords. It's not just the decision maker and someone taking action on the decision, which is the more yang energy. This is the more yin energy, listening to your intuition. And from the intuition, being creative, coming up with creative solutions. Okay, so with the Lovers card here, I'm thinking relationships. Very much going through a tear down and rebuilding of the way that you have created your communication style. That's what I'm seeing. Do you see that? You see that in these cards? Because I think it really does harken back to the communication. The way that you weave your words, or the way that you don't speak when maybe you should speak, right? Or that you've wanted to say something but you haven't and you've held back. It can cause this shaky ground if there's too much silence, right? Or if we haven't been speaking with enough clarity, or I don't know, transparency. Or we haven't been talking about what we're trying to do, what our goals are. We're not collaborating, cooperating. If we do that in relationships, the relationship can very often feel like it's on shaky ground, right? Because you're not together on doing something together. You may be each interdependently doing things and taking care of business, very busy, and having, a lot of responsibilities on your plate. But this is saying this is a relationship that needs a little tender loving care, a little nurturance, a little coming together, working together, talking, collaborating, building something together. Because there's been some melancholy, some wistfulness, some sadness about missing someone, maybe, perhaps for you. Okay, so I'm seeing here that perhaps there's been something that has gone unsaid that needs to be worked on together. I'm reading these horizontally, but I'm also going to read them vertically, okay, to give you the perspective. Then we have the King of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, the Five of Swords. Okay, so the King of Cups is emotional mastery, and it is the yang of emotional mastery. Now, in the yang energy, the king takes action on his emotions maturely, okay, with a stableness about him, but he doesn't necessarily show his emotions too much. He feels them deeply, but doesn't necessarily show them as much, okay? And perhaps it's just because with the Nine of Pentacles, you know, you're just really self-sufficient. Maybe you're just incredibly self-sufficient. That's what I heard when I saw this card. The Nine of Pentacles is standing in your own power and having a strong sense of self and a strong sense of purpose in what you're doing in your life every day. And being successful at it and accomplishing it. The goals of your, you know, your daily to-do list, that kind of thing. You're pretty much on top of things. So you've got some deep feels, but you're taking care of business. But I think that what I'm looking at here is that it might be that it's causing a little bit of a void. I'm seeing him as a void. It's like maybe your voice is needed here is what I'm hearing, Aquarius. I think in this situation, whatever this is, because the Tower for you today in this reading is in the center of your reading, the Tower. And this is something that comes out of nowhere and changes the landscape of your life. It's a change. It's a big foundational change. And I think that this is reminding you here at the end of your reading, don't stay silent, right? Because the oracle for you this week, during this full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, it's to talk about your relationship. And don't stay silent about the changes you want to make together. Ace of Cups underneath that. Offering a cup of love. Things that you've been keeping deep inside with the Hermit. These are on the bottom of the deck. So what's underlying all of this? That maybe internally you've been changing your feelings. Maybe you've been feeling a little bit lonely. Maybe you've been wistful and you're wanting to change and shake it up a little bit with the Tower. And be a little more creative or say something that you haven't said before. Working together with the Three of Pentacles, trying to build something that it is that you want to build. So with this Empress, I am really looking at someone who is creating a new landscape of potential personally. So it's something that you should share. That's what this is saying, is share it. Come together with those in your life. Let them be on board with you and cheer you on, whatever this is, because silence is not going to help you at this point. It's only going to make somebody feel really left out in the cold. So I would say that, I'm seeing the Tower here at home, and then under the deck, this change and offering a cup of love, I'm seeing you alone on this Tower. And that's, I think, what's coming down is your solitary way of holding your feelings in, Aquarius. I mean, you are an Aquarian. You can be very cool-headed, right? So maybe this is saying to open that up a little bit, because with the Empress above the Tower, above the Nine of Pentacles, this is somebody opening up, really getting it that they need to be more emotionally available, to verbalize their feelings, to share them. Because the person in your life right now might be feeling a little emotionally alone. So in other words, maybe you can discuss everything in the world together, but emotions, not so much. Right? This is like pretty much every marriage I've ever heard. It's just par for the course. It's the way that we're raised. We were taught to be that way. Guys don't usually show their emotions very much, and you know, the women do. But that is changing quite profoundly, because our feelings that's our superpowers. They're our superpowers. They really help us to listen to ourselves. Your feelings is your body, your senses, your sixth sense telling you what's going on. But there's a lot there for you, Aquarius. A lot's there. And this is really encouraging you to share your emotions with another. And you know, when I was reading this card, it said it could be a romantic relationship, a friend, family member, anyone you know. Right? But this is about you. This card, Nine of Pentacles, you opening up, growing. That's the center. And then finally, building with others in your life together a new way to consciously create a new way of communicating. The King of Swords. Communicating and using your voice instead of staying so silent. Right? All right? That's what's changing for you, Aquarius, I think, with this full moon. Full moon in Sagittarius. Big eclipse. And don't forget, at the end of the week, on the 29th, we're going to, you know, Mercury is going to station to go retrograde. And in Mercury retrograde, we really do revisit how we communicate, what we think about, what we make decisions about, and why we make those decisions. So this is an internal thing for you right now with this being in the center. Okay? So I don't think you're having a breakdown or anything. I think you're having a breakthrough. I think you're having a breakthrough, Aquarius. And I think this is going to be the result. Wow. You go, Aquarius. I'm excited for you. I wish you kindness, reverence, and gratitude. Please, if you would, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. And if you want more of the content and you want to hear your reading for next week, then please do click the notification bell when you subscribe. Okay? I appreciate you so much. And I'll talk to you again next week. Thanks.